To explain is Orit Hayoun, a criminal law expert here in Tel Aviv. So first of all, tell us what a plea bargain is and why it's so highly contested in cases of domestic violence.
Hi, good evening. A plea bargain is where the defendant in the criminal procedure has a way to admit the offenses that he is accused of, and for this he gets to have a quick trial, no need for the victim to testify, and usually his punishment is reduced because he's saving a lot of money, a lot of effort, and he takes responsibility for his action, and this is why it's called a plea bargain, because it's like an agreement between the prosecution and the defendants that each side has his benefits of this agreement. And usually also the crime victim has the benefits that he doesn't need to go through the trial, he doesn't need to testify and answer very difficult questions, and the responsibility that the defendant takes for his action is something which is very important for the public. And this is why most cases in Israel ending up in a plea bargain.
So this is common. You know, what does it say about how the Israeli government tackles the issue of domestic abuse? And should it be changed, in your personal opinion, especially given in this case?
Listen, it's not only in domestic violence. In all kind of offenses, a plea bargain is very common, because if, for example, the prosecution needs to fight every case, it doesn't have the means or the manpower to do it, and this is why they can concentrate in the most difficult cases, and this is why also it's a very common thing. In domestic violence is a little bit more complicated, because usually the crime victims has to suffer if the defendant goes out after a short period of time, and the offenses reduces to lesser offense, and sometimes nobody is taking care of them afterwards, and usually they don't agree to the plea bargain because they think it's it's not how to say it, it's not strong enough for them for what they suffered, or they feel or usually in domestic cases sometimes the wife goes back to the husband, they're going to live together, they want their husband back because they don't have anybody to support them or to bring money to the household, and they don't want the husband to go to jail, and their voice is not always heard as it should be.
Right, which is why tens of thousands of Israelis have signed a petition to oppose this plea deal. Unfortunately, we've run out of time here, but, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how the Israeli government responds to this outpour of anger that we're seeing from the public over a case. This is a man who nearly murdered his wife, and basically, you know, the punishment doesn't seem to really be fitting the crime here.
Just to finish in one sentence, to say that the crime victims do have their say, and there is a law that force the prosecution to hear what they have to say. They can also appeal, and they do have this right.
All right, so we'll see what happens here. Thank you for joining us.